We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight. This evening, for the first time in history, Visit Lauderdale, the world's largest LGBTQ+ destination marketing organization, is taking over another travel destination. What will be Fort Lauderdale of the North?
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, organizes Wilton Manor's Art Walk on January 20th and launches new Wilton Arts Village with many other arts organizations.
Breaking news tonight as Queer News Tonight anchor Jeff Oliverio becomes the new Hollywood LGBTQ+ Council president as My Hollywood Pride is just around the corner.
Bigotry reached a new high this week and went to a dangerous place as three bigots talked about beating gay children.
LGBTQ+ community has got another feather in its cap as GLAAD wins an Emmy and NBC broadcasts Equality Now's trans commercial. Wait for the awe.
Hello and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, plus social platforms including Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news. It is Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we are going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
I'm out South Florida senior reporter John Hayden. This evening we bring you the news of and perspective representing the LGBTQ+ community from Florida, America, and around the world.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens, unique in LGBTQ+ news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino and lesbians, queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
Well, let's begin tonight's show by welcoming our panel. Up first, Jeff Oliverio, Mr. President, but we'll get to that in a minute. He is also a financial advisor and certified financial planner with Truist Wealth in Fort Lauderdale. Jeff is also one of the founders and now president of the Hollywood LGBTQ+ Council. They are presenting the upcoming My Hollywood Pride later this month. He's served as co-chair for the National LGBTQ Task Force Gala since 2021. Welcome back, Jeff.
Happy New Year. My first time back.
I asked,
a lot has changed.
What's changed? Your hair is still fabulous. Nothing has changed. Now, when you were here in October, I sat here and I asked you, what are you doing here? You've got so much going on to plan for the gala. So now I'm going to ask you, what are you doing here? You've got so much to do for My Hollywood Pride coming up on the weekend of the 26th.
I'm here because there's a lot to talk about for Hollywood Pride. We have a lot of exciting events coming up and a lot to promote, and our committee is really excited about what we've been producing for the community. So that's why I'm here, and to share the news about a little bit about the council as well.
That's excellent.
Which we'll talk about later.
And just a little inside behind the scenes information for our viewers. Jeff was sitting here before in the green room before the show, sitting here on the desk, like working away on emails and everything else. So he's dedicated, and I can't wait till we get into My Hollywood Pride a bit later in the show. Up next, my good friend Paul Thomas. He is the chairman of the LGBTQ+ Advisory Committee to the City of Miami Beach, on the board of directors for the Point Foundation, and on the endorsement committee for SAVE. Welcome back, Paul.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. It's my first time back, too, since 2024. I'm excited for 2024.
Good holidays?
It's going to be our year. Good holidays.
Yeah.
Made it through the holidays safe.
I made it through the holidays. If that doesn't define life in the mid-20s, I don't know what else does.
Yeah.
And finally, let's welcome my doppelganger, Gregg Shapiro. His 9th book, Refrain in Light, was selected for the Poetry Mutual 10 Best Poetry Books of 2023. It's 2024 now, you know.
I know, but I need to promote.
His entertainment coverage, including celebrity interviews, runs in a variety of print and online publications, including the Pulitzer-eligible
Out
South Florida. Welcome back, Gregg.
Thank you very much, John. I'm glad to be back.
We are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and around America is diverse. Our community on Earth is vast. And here are the bullet points for the queer news for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. And we begin by queering up the USA View. Visit Lauderdale announces historic takeover of LGBTQ plus Provincetown. Destination travel organizations, or DMOs, can be very competitive with each other. Some may think if you choose Orlando, you're not going to go to Vegas. That's especially true for LGBTQ plus travel destinations. That's why news from the world's top LGBTQ plus travel marketing organization caught the world by surprise. Visit Lauderdale is announcing a historic partnership with one of the best-known LGBTQ plus destinations in the world, Provincetown. Greater Fort Lauderdale is doing a marketing campaign, Takeover Provincetown, this year. We joke, of course, but Visit Lauderdale is becoming the first ever DMO to deliver a marketing takeover of another destination by encouraging visitors of P-Town to visit South Florida, specifically Greater Fort Lauderdale. A partnership with the Provincetown Business Guild, they like when we say the full name, will bring Visit Lauderdale's message of LGBTQ plus inclusion to millions of Provincetown's annual viewers. The campaign will run all through season, but will be highlighted especially at key events, including Pride, May 31st to June 2nd, Bear Week, July 13th to the 20th, and Carnival, August 17th to the 24th. My birthday weekend. The integration leverages more than 1 million people to see it, and the Provincetown Business Guild digital platforms will show media channels and their website, ptown.org. Visit Lauderdale made the point that this is not sponsorship of a single event, but a never-before-seen DMO takeover of one of the best places on Earth. Richard Gray, the Senior Vice President of Inclusion and Accessibility at Visit Lauderdale, told Queer News Tonight, quote, "I am beyond thrilled as we once again think outside of the box to promote Greater Fort Lauderdale. Visit Lauderdale continues to be the generators of change, and we are dedicated to being a destination where all people are welcomed, regardless of gender, gender expression, body size, race, religion, or disability. Marketing to the LGBTQ plus and ally travelers in Provincetown makes savvy strategic sense as we make travelers aware that Greater Fort Lauderdale is one of the world's top LGBTQ plus travel destinations. We continue to be global thought leaders, and nothing makes me prouder." End quote. Visit Lauderdale and LGBTQ plus Broward County as a destination will have a presence throughout the year at this destination for visitors to come to Provincetown and then come on down here to South Florida, a destination welcoming everyone under the sun. You know, this is so exciting because Provincetown is wonderful. Wilton Manors and gay Broward County is wonderful. And Visit Lauderdale does a wonderful job marketing us and making sure that everybody knows that not all Florida is the same. We continue to be this blue dot, a fun blue dot, a welcoming blue dot, and so thank you to Stacy, Richard, everybody over there.
I think of us more as like a bubble, like, because you know how bubbles have like rainbows in them? So, but I really admire the way that Visit Lauderdale is expanding its reach from California, right, from the parade, to Massachusetts, like clear across from one coast to the other coast and everything in between. And P-Town kind of feels like a long-lost sister city to Fort Lauderdale. And this sounds like an exciting family reunion in the making.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the last year, obviously, Florida has gotten a bad rap. And so anything we can do to make it seem that we are a hospitable place, especially, again, both, you know, in Broward County, and we'll throw Miami Beach in there as well, Miami. Because we have gotten a lot of heat and, you know, even asking why events are being held for LGBTQ people in Florida. I know we received some commentary about that for the Task Force Gala. You know, why are you having this event in Florida? So I think this partnership, and again, we think the audiences are very similar because we know so many people that go between these two places, but yet there's tons of people that probably don't come here that will be able to, you know, see Fort Lauderdale in a different light, and hopefully our audience will see P-Town as a place to visit.
I guess my hope when I read this was that the more people from outside of here that we can get to come here, maybe they can help us change some of the things that we have to face. Delhi, we got to down on the beach. There are places that are like, we're not coming there. We're not having our convention there. We can't bring our staff. Like, all of our staff will be insulted. The women don't want to go. The gays don't want to go. Like, nobody wants to go there because of the politics of the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So if we can get people from outside of here to come down and maybe help us out a little bit, with trying to get the state of Florida to move forward. You know, every little bit helps. So if it's from P-Town, hey, let it be from P-Town.
Absolutely, because we need these events. These are our cultural touchstones down here, whether it's the gayborhood in Wilton versus the gayborhood of Provincetown. We need these. We need you to come and visit us. We need your dollars. I'll just say it. We need your dollars, because the pink dollar is what we need to take deep red Tallahassee back blue. It can be done.
Tallahassee's blue. Florida's red.
Well, but the capital.
But more than the money is the fact that we still need these safe spaces. We need places to go where we can relax, where we can enjoy, we can take a breath from some of the harsher realities out there. And so these events, I think, are just as important now as they've ever been.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, you know, people boycotting or saying, "Oh, I'm not going to go to Florida because of this." That doesn't change the policies. It actually just harms people that have a business here, that have their livelihood here. And obviously, tourism is one of our top industries, if not our top industry, in the state of Florida. So boycotting us for, you know, what our current governor has put on Tallahassee has put on the books for our laws does not do anything to change those laws. So, you know, we want to build community. We want people to come here.
The old cut off the nose to spike the face thing, and we need you.
Well,
help us.
You can understand, right? If you have a company from California,
right,
where they haven't thought about these issues for a long time, or New York, where like we don't have these discussions anymore, and you go, I'm going to bring everybody down there, and half your staff looks at you and goes, I'm not going down there.
It's not safe, right.
You know what I mean? It's not safe.
Yeah.
I don't want to be supporting a state so you can understand both sides.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. We understand both sides, but we say, come to us. Yeah. Because we're cool.
We need I always say we need the help. You know, we need the outside voices. We need the outside voices to come in. We need them to go home and talk about it. We need the help.
Yes.
You know.
So yes, and I want to do a special shout out to Richard Gray. We mentioned him as the Vice President of Inclusion and Accessibility at Visit Lauderdale. He's also been named by a disability monitoring website as one of 24 people to watch, because he is so passionate about, when they say everyone under the sun, they mean everyone. And we've seen wheelchair ramps, and we see the Braille on elevator buttons and things like that. That's what we see. But there's so much more. He told me in an interview that it's just the tip of the iceberg. The 90% of the iceberg is underwater that you don't see, and that's where all their work is. And he's been committed to this long before Everyone Under the Sun debuted a year and a half ago. So congratulations, Richard. You deserve it, and it is another platform that you can springboard into making Broward County even better. No, he's not.
Oh,
No. He's just an incredible ally.
it is I did sit on a disability committee one time.
Yeah.
Like as a guest. And what I did is I brought a list of disabled LGBTQ people. And interestingly enough, there are a lot of disabled LGBTQ people who are out LGBTQ, but they're not out about their disability.
Yeah.
And so, because, if you come out and say you have a chronic illness like MS, all of a sudden they don't want to make the insurance for you to get the role on the TV show, right?
Yeah.
So they're still having to hide parts of themselves in order to manage the world. And so, if he's highlighting that, and if he's making that iceberg a little bit, showing a little bit more of what's happening underneath, then good for him.
Thank you so much, Richard.
Well, next, let's queer up South Florida and Florida. The Wilton Arts Village with Gallery and Art Walk launches January 20th. Our beloved Wilton Manors is once again ready to become the pilgrimage of art lovers from across the country as it holds an art walk on January 20th from 6 to 9 p.m. on Wilton Drive. This is a special launch of the Wilton Arts Village, anchored by the Hotspots Happening Out Gallery on Dixie Highway. They have created an art walk map where galleries, theaters, and other organizations on Dixie and Wilton Drive will be participating. They have published a special gloss map for the new Wilton Art Village. The Art Walk season will continue through June of 2024. Art Walk Wilton Manors is a fun, open-air event held on the third Saturday of the month. The event brings area artists and craftspeople together with Wilton Manors community on the sidewalks of beautiful Dixie and Wilton Drive. Shop, dine, and play. Over the years, live painting artists to craftspeople all have exhibited at Art Walk Wilton Manors. The Art Walk is organized by Hotspots Events and sponsored by Claudia Castillo Art Studio. More information is available at hotspotsmagazine.com. I love seeing that there were, again, diversifying our programming for our own community because, again, we all love the bars and things that are littered across Wilton Drive and Miami Beach and those things. But our community is more than that. So I think bringing different programming, art is certainly a huge draw for people. It transforms downtown. I know we have an art walk monthly in downtown Hollywood, which is very, very popular as well. It brings one of the things when we actually talked about this for Art Walk in Hollywood was, again, we said we need to have an LGBTQ art walk, which, we have some art events that, happen because we're like, all these people come to art events, but they're not being programmed specifically to LGBTQ people. So it's great that we have this here in Wilton Manors. I've been to it several times throughout the course of it occurring, and it's a great event, and there's a lot of great vendors there. So come out and support them because they're great community builders.
For sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really happy that Wilton Manors is continuing the art walk, especially since nearby Fat Village no longer has, because they don't exist anymore. So I get a chance to still have that same experience. You get to meet the artists and have a little food, a little street action, and I just wish it was year round. I know that it has to end in June, but I don't mind sweating in July and August and going out there.
Well, the thing is, you're still going to sweat.
Yeah.
Not doing the art walk doesn't
light
make it
sweat
cooler.
versus heavy sweat is the difference. Yeah.
I haven't been, but I'm a huge fan of art. And I just think what art brings to a community and to an afternoon is transformational. I think it allows people to have conversations they may not be having. I think they find some joy inside of themselves despite what might be going on in their personal lives. And just, you're reading about a stroll down a street filled with different types of art and meeting people, to me is like, okay, I can show up for that,
Yeah. And what's really great is over these last couple of years, Dixie Highway near 5 Point has started to develop into an arts district. I know we've got 3 art galleries over in that area now, plus a cool little Italian winery, not winery, but like wine and gifting shop, which is really cool. So Dixie Highway is starting to when the drive got full, the overflows kept making the hairpin turn over onto Dixie, and the work that they're doing is just fantastic. And I want to give a quick shout out to Claudia Castillo, who she's the one. I mean, if our parking meters are the gayest and most festive meters, it makes you happy to pay your parking fee because she painted them all different colors, and it's so cool. And there's it's not just people out, displaying paintings on that day. We've got statues up and down the drive. We've all kinds of art installations. So, yes, the monthly walk is great, but it's good anytime you happen to get up there. And honestly, it's like, for the many reasons, I wish I had a dog, because you take your dog to these art walks, and they are magnets. I would rent a dog, but then he'd eventually come over and be like,
rent a dog.
Like, where's your dog? Because trust me,
dog B&B.
Trust me, they're going to want the dog much more than they like.
You can put the cat on a leash.
Then they like, oh, you have not met my cat. All right, next, let's talk about someone like they're not here and queer up South Florida and Florida. Jeff Oliverio, new Hollywood LGBTQ+ Council President, prepares for My Hollywood Pride the weekend of the 26th. The Hollywood LGBTQ+ Council is a leading advocacy group founded in 2019 by Hollywood residents. This year, the council has elected its new president, and it's none other than Queer News Tonight's own Jeff Oliverio. That's a really good picture.
Yay. Oh, it's actually my time.
Jeff, oh my girl. Jeff is one of the founders of My Hollywood Pride and also co-chairs the National LGBTQ+ Task Force Gala since 2021. My Hollywood Pride returns for its third year, starting with the Circle of Pride networking event at Sunset Club on Friday the 26th. The event supports the Circle of Pride business program, providing local businesses with a way to affirm their allyship with the LGBTQ+ community. On Saturday is the Pride 100 brunch featuring Francesca Dimore, who another happening out television anchor. She will be honored with the Trailblazer Award. Good for you, girl. And Sunday, the 28th, is the main day of Pride. Among sponsors of the Pride are Hotspots Happening Out Television Network as a proud presenting media sponsor. You can buy tickets to the brunch and other events on myhollywoodpride.com. Everyone at Hotspots Happening Out congratulates Mr. President. Be there to support and celebrate our community. And it was my gut reaction to start singing Happy Birthday Oliver Monroe towards you. But your hair is too good, and you don't deserve my lyrical silence.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, though, Jeff. That is fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So tell us about My Hollywood Pride, because there's so much that goes into this. It's now a 3-day event. Year 3 days. What do we got?
Yeah, I mean, back to the Hollywood LGBTQ Council and becoming the president. Pride was really the manifestation of the work we did with the council. We founded the council. For those who don't know, our acronym it's LGBTQ, but it stands for Life, Government, Business, Transformation, and Quality of Life, which was where we came up with trying to bring change to Hollywood. So that then led us to people saying, when are we going to have a Pride in Hollywood? So when we started Pride, it was really kind of the outpouring of support we had from people that came together in the community. So the Pride this year, I think, is, again, it's obviously we started very small and we're continuing to build. So this year, I think we're putting all the components of that life, government, and business together. We start off with a networking event. We're partnering with the Greater Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, doing a networking event on Hollywood Beach at a rooftop place called Sunset Club, which is a magnificent venue overlooking Hollywood Beach and the Broadwalk. So come out. We're going to have drinks and appetizers and get to meet and greet with local Hollywood businesses and community. Saturday, we have our brunch. We're being hosted at Redwood Kitchen, which is a fabulous restaurant on Harrison Street. We're going to be honoring Francesca Dimore, who is not only a trailblazer and not only only a Queer News Tonight anchor, but is also our entertainment director for the past 3 years. So anyone who has been to Pride and has seen the entertainment that we've put on, Francesca has done all of that herself individually throughout the last 3 years, and really, again, building that program out. So she's bringing a lot of local talent together, which I think is really important. So we're really happy, and she's a great voice for the community. So we have that. Saturday night, we follow that up. We have a comedy night for the first time ever, which will be at Cinema Paradiso. It'll be featuring some local comics on the stage. So get tickets for that. And then Sunday is Pride. So we have a whole day from 1 to 6 p.m. on downtown Hollywood. We have a kids zone, which youth programming has been one of the core features. Our Pride does look and sound a little different than most of the prides in South Florida. Yep. It's we're billing it as family inclusive, meaning that anyone, any age can come and participate. So including dogs. So we're dog friendly as well. We have a huge contingency of people that bring their dogs. So we like to make sure we say that we're dog friendly, not just kid friendly. And then
dogs more than kids. So
yeah, and we close out the event with a tea dance at Karma Lounge, which is a local nightclub on Hollywood Boulevard that is not an LGBTQ destination, but has hosted us for the last this will be the 3rd year that we've been there. So we've been really lucky to partner with these local businesses, and we think that, bringing Pride to Hollywood, we've had so many people that came up to us throughout the last 2 years and have said, I've lived in this town for 20 or 30 years and I never thought that we'd have a Pride festival here. So it is the manifestation of what the council is what Pride is. So, it's not just, we wanted to throw a Pride to, have a party on the street. It really kind of brings all those components of the council together. So,
and this isn't for just for gays.
No,
this isn't gay boy. This is a community event. Bring straight families, come on down, right?
Yep.
Gay families, come on down, right? This is a local Pride. And that's what's always impressed me the first 2 years, is that it feels so very neighborhoody.
Yeah, we compare it. If you have been to downtown Hollywood, we have a few different festivals throughout the year. We have Hollyweird, which is our Halloween festival. We have Mardi Gras. We have St. Patrick's Day. This is just another street festival. This one is LGBTQ themed. So that's how we're billing it. And so all of those events, again, whether it's Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, or Hollyweird, there's LGBTQ people there and there's straight people there. Mm-hmm. And this is just another event that's being held in downtown Hollywood with, again, of course, a Pride theme. We're obviously promoting a lot of, we're lucky this year. The Quadrachi Cabrera family is our presenting sponsor, partnering with the National LGBTQ Task Force, which is an organization I have some involvement with. So they're coming in as our presenting sponsor. So we have a national organization, sponsoring us. Last year we worked with Safe Schools South Florida, again with our youth programming. They're coming back this year with a teen programming. And we have probably every single LGBTQ organization in South Florida is going to be there. Equality Florida, SAVE, Trans Inclusive, all of our major organizations will be there tabling so people can come and learn about what's available to support our community.
Excellent.
Fantastic. I've been there. I have a great time every year. It is more important than ever to have these things. And since you mentioned the tabling, there was just a great conversation today on WLRN about being active participants in our democracy. Mm-hmm. And that means more than just showing up every 4 years. We have to beg people to vote every 4 years, but they're like, guess what? It actually takes a little more than that. And it happens locally.
Yes.
And they said the best thing you can do is find local organizations who can help you and support you and give you the information that you need and the support that you need so that you can feel like you have power over what's happening in your community. And I think Hollywood Pride sounds like that's going to be a perfect venue for people to come down and get to meet lots of different people and organizations that they can take that information back and really help us make some changes here.
And you don't need to get your passport, your visa stamp to come from Miami-Dade into Broward County, right? You can just come on up.
Listen, it's tough. It's tough. I come up here for Jeff and Tony.
Yeah.
I don't really come up here. I come up here once a month to Queer News Tonight.
And I'm just glad.
But you know what? If you're gonna take any time to do it, do it that day.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And there's good
it's a great
swag,
event.
too.
There'll be
still
lots
have
of
some of my
swag.
swag
Lots of
from
swag.
this year.
Memorial Healthcare will be back with the fedoras this year.
Right,
So
yes.
those are our most popular item. People wear them year round and ask us to buy them. So Memorial is back again as a
Good.
sponsor, and they're bringing the Pride fedoras back. So we're really excited about that.
And I also want to add that you do have Kennedy-esque hair, so singing Mr. Happy Birthday that way. But finally, I really want to say, bravo, Mr. O, bravo.
And if I can make one more plug, our hosts for the Pride event, we have Craig Stevens from WSVM, but we have none other than Out South Florida Person of the Year, Queer News anchor Faye What will be our stage host as well. So we have another connection to our Queer News Tonight family that will be present at My Hollywood Pride.
Fantastic. Okay, next, let's queer up students and youth. We go from all that joy to this. MAGA pundits believe in beating up kids with same-sex parents. A trio of white Christian nationalists shamelessly put the unmitigated bigotry of the MAGA era on full display, gathering on the online program Crosstalk to reveal the depth of their animus for gay people and gay children in particular. Crosstalk is hosted by right-wing conspiracy theorists Edward Zoll and Lauren Witzke, who were joined by Vincent James, an anti-Semitic and self-declared fascist who is treasurer for white nationalist Nick Fuentes' America First organization. The three panelists openly promoted beating up the children of gay parents. They also endorsed school children serving as moral referees who safeguard Christian values on the playground. The trio's conversation revolved around their paranoid assertion that the LGBTQ+ community is infiltrating the conservative movement to weaken and ultimately dismantle it. Sounds like a good idea to me. Soon enough, the group began expressing nostalgia for a time when kids like them policed the playground. Zal proudly recalled the good old days when he used to beat children with two dads. And not to our surprise, he claimed beating the children of gay parents was for their own good and done in service to their faith. James added fuel to the bigotry by talking about mistreating gay children who were pretending to be straight out of fear. They seemed to agree on beating gay children and setting them back in a closet, as Witzke believed it could help in maintaining the line.
There used to be a day and age. I mean, look, one of the primary reasons, other than, of course, our faith, it was just bad for the kid. I mean, you think about the kid in the situation. We beat up the kid at school who had two dads. I mean, yeah. And we weren't jerks for that. That was just...
I never knew any kid who had two dads. Like even the gay kids, even the kids who we knew were like obviously gay, who had like the lisp, like pretended not to be gay, like had the most girlfriends so that they wouldn't get like bullied.
That's true.
Right. And that's how we kind of maintain the line as far as behavior. You know, I think that they need to all go back in the closet.
Wow. It's like, is that even real? And they're doing all this based on their faith, which is really weird. It's like, I don't know. It's very, very strange to me. The one guy said, you know, we weren't jerks about it back in our, and I'm thinking, no, but you were jerks about, does he think that people were okay with that? Kids got in trouble for beating up other kids in school. You didn't target kids. Grown adults sitting around in a room, like, and just spewing so much hatred and negativity towards children that they don't know, towards other human beings that they don't know, is, I don't know, I'm hoping law enforcement is aware of this, because they're threatening to harm people, right? So someone should be watching them and making sure that they actually do not go out in society and carry any of these things out. People listening may take them up on it. We've seen that happen before. It's only January 9th that we just finished the anniversary of January 6th, where if you suggest things to crazy people, they do crazy things. You know what? It becomes very, very dangerous. So
we just had the president commemorate the shooting in a black church in South Carolina. It was also incited by white supremacists that were coming in to to inflict violence on a community. And this rhetoric is so dangerous. And again, and to use the veil of religion as a reason to beat people up. Hashtag what would Jesus do? Probably not beat people up. I'm just guessing. It's seeing people sit in a room with this kind of mentality, and again, this is what they're saying on camera.
Right.
What are they saying off camera?
Right.
Because there's no fear of what they're putting out there into the public sphere. I mean, it's terrible. And then for children to pick up these things or to hear these messages, however they get delivered to them, whether it's their parents, then those parents who are watching that saying, if you see kids at school that are gay and you better beat them up. And could you imagine?
No,
I mean, it's just...
I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot. They're all too young for that, too.
Right.
I mean, the three of them are way too young to have that.
Isn't it only a matter of time before one of these three stooges is busted for sexual assault of a minor? My money's on Vincent James Fox. That's his full name.
I think about the nostalgia I have for 2016. Because before we went and elected probably the most dangerous man to the presidency since the Civil War, something like this, we wouldn't even be talking about it because it would be so out there. It would be like, why are we even giving oxygen to these people? But the fact is, they've got the oxygen tanks and they are in it for the long haul. They are dangerous. To say they're hateful would be redundant, but they're certainly not religious. They're playground bullies. They're admitting it. They are calling for nostalgia of the good old days when, bullies were they not just the playground in college, in adulthood, maintaining social order, I think is what they said, or something along that line. And that's how it used to be. And they want to go back to it. And honestly, it doesn't take them that much. Just a couple of elections, a few election officials in a state here and a state there, and we could be in a place where these people not only are getting views on social media, they're going to have the ear of the entire executive branch. I don't mean they can call up the Oval Office and get a free pack of White House Tic Tacs. They're going to have the ear of not only the president, the head of Justice Department, the head of Homeland Security, the head of the Department of Transportation, which doesn't sound like it should be very political, but it has a huge impact on us. These people are going to be able to reach out and affect our lives. They are dangerous, dangerous people. Gregg?
And, well, in terms of Witzke, though, I don't think she has an oxygen tank so much as a helium tank, if you heard her voice. Next, let's clear up trans rights. GLAAD wins Emmy, and NBC broadcasts their heartwarming trans kids commercial from GLAAD.org/Equality Now. Founded in 1985, GLAAD is a media nonprofit organization focused on LGBTQ+ advocacy and cultural change. GLAAD holds the media and studios accountable, tracking and calling out representation gaps, combating hate and misinformation, pushing for accurate and authentic representation. GLAAD is making profound, transformational, and long-lasting changes to our LGBTQ+ culture and pushing us closer to 100% LGBTQ+ acceptance. These efforts will be getting much recognition as the GLAAD community will receive the Governor's Award at this year's Emmy telecast. On January 15th, the GLAAD community will receive the Governor's Award during the live Emmy telecast on Fox. You all can help GLAAD write the acceptance speech by telling them a TV moment that matters to you, and then tune in to the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards on Monday at 8 p.m. on Fox and watch the speech you helped inspire. As if this is not exciting enough, this week, NBC and other platforms began broadcasting this GLAAD's Trans Kids commercial featuring the Briggle family that appeals to people to protect trans kids and their families. GLAAD was fundamental in the project. 2024 has really started on a bright note for the community.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. Max loves to do backflips. Max loves to play his ukulele. Max loves to just be a kid and just be himself. When I found out I was pregnant, all I really wanted was a happy, healthy, whole child. And that's what I got. If you've never met a transgender child before, what I want you to know is that that child is no different than yours. They have the same hopes and dreams and deserve the same equality as your child does. We tell our kids as often as we can that we love them in as many ways as possible. There are some politicians who are trying to tear my family apart simply because my son is transgender. Trans kids don't have a political agenda. They are just kids. They just want to be left alone. My family's just like yours. We love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
Mother Briggle is the essence of true love, and her heartfelt message deserves to be heard by everyone on both sides of the aisle. I really hope that it reaches the viewership that needs to see and hear it the most.
Yeah, I mean, this brings up, I was part of PFLAG for many years, and when we would have parents of trans kids come through the door, and with all of the things that they're dealing with the issues that trans children face, whether it's in school, bullying, how to identify. The hardest thing was, on top of that, you're still a teenager, or you're still in, so they have like a double, and for the parents, they're trying to address that. So to hear this mother tell the story, it's exactly the story that everyone needs to hear, that these are, as a parent, you'll do anything for your children. And so brave as can be to go on TV and to speak out, especially in the climate that we're in.
Yeah, so proud of NBC. I mean, GLAAD is an amazing organization. They have never slowed down, but so proud of NBC for airing this during the Emmy, because, we had that whole scandal last year with Dylan Mulvaney, and she was on Bud Light, and the nut jobs lost their minds and started shooting beer cans and all kinds of crazy stuff. This just shows me that people haven't backed away from that fight, that a lot of good people still believe that we all get equality, that a lot of good people still believe we all deserve unconditional love, and that we're here to support each other. And clearly NBC has said, we're going to air the commercial, right? Are some people not going to like it? Absolutely. Are we airing the commercial? Absolutely. And we just need more of that. Sure. We really need more of that to get us all over this next line, so that we don't have these fears of falling back into really, really dark times.
The Emmys are this weekend. Very excited. I was nominated once, but the local, not national, but it all counts. But this family is brave. But the fact is, on the Emmys, they're going to have a very sympathetic audience. Yeah. They're going to have an audience that's going to be basically open to this. I hope GLAAD has the budget to buy time to show this ad on Fox during the Republican National Convention, on CNN during big events like that. Maybe even during return nights on Super Tuesday, because that's where people need to see it. Those are the people that need to be affected, because the people who tune into that will care about what these elections mean for our trans brothers and sisters. Maybe it will sway a few swing votes in a swing state and make the difference.
The idea that some of those people that would not like that commercial, that they don't have trans kids or gay kids, is not true. I mean, they all have people like that in their lives.
Yeah.
Right? But what they're not showing them is love. What they're showing them is ignorance, right? And so it's like, maybe that commercial would be a good teaching tool, right? A way to give them the words that they don't have. Sometimes people need that as well. And I'm all happy. If GLAAD doesn't have the budget, now would be a good time for some of these high rollers to step up and make sure that they have the budget. To get that out there. Now is the time. Because we're at a time now, we're in the middle of a war. This is a war. This is not politics. This is not like, oh, well, we'll just see what happens in 4 years. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous out there. The things that are happening are really, it's very, very serious. It's affecting people's lives in horrendous ways. Trans kids, LGBTQ kids, the suicide rates, all these different things. These are not jokes. These are people's lives. We have to push, and we have to push hard. And if that means some of these billionaires need to give up a couple of dollars to make sure GLAAD has what they need, now's the time to do it.
Open up your Venmo, billionaires. We're here for it.
Yeah.
Now here's a look at what I'm working on for this week's issue of Out South Florida. This week in Out South Florida, powered by Queer News Tonight. I'm Out South Florida senior reporter John Hayden. In this week's issue, Wilton Collective is moving off the drive, and where it's headed says a lot about potential development in the city. Also, Hamburger Mary's may leave Wilton Manors once again, and an already popular bar may move into the prime real estate. And Visit Lauderdale says it's here for everyone under the sun, and a new accolade proves they're living up to their promises. I'm John Hayden. Those stories and more in Out South Florida on stands and online, and follow me on Instagram at John Hayden Journalist for breaking news and live updates.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
We finish tonight's Queer News headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ Plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ Plus 1 Minute News, let's queer up sports. Florida Panthers celebrates LGBTQ Plus community at Hockey Pride Night, January 13th. The Florida Panthers were the first NHL team to hold a Pride Night back in 2013 and will continue the tradition for the upcoming match night at Amerant Bank Arena in Florida. The team will be celebrating Pride Night presented by Stoli Vodka on Saturday, January 13th against the New Jersey Devils from 6 p.m. As the specialty sweaters for all theme nights got banned in the off-season by the NHL, we will not be seeing the team boast the Pride-themed jerseys as they did last season. But to make the games fun, you can pre-purchase your tickets and enter for a chance to win 2 lower-level tickets to Florida Panthers Night on Saturday's match.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up the worldview. No jail time for homophobic attacker of Drag Race UK star. A judge in the UK gave a suspended prison sentence to the unemployed construction worker who sucker punched Drag Race UK star the Vivienne in a fast food restaurant. Alan Whitfield, 51, was found guilty of attacking the Vivienne at a McDonald's in Liverpool in June. District Judge Paul Healy gave him a 12-week prison sentence, which he suspended for 18 months dependent upon Whitfield's behavior. Whitfield was also ordered to avoid contact with the Vivienne, whose non-drag name is James Lee Williams, for 2 years. Healy cited Whitfield's role as caring for his elderly mother and lack of related or recent crimes in handing down the suspended sentence.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news, let's queer up entertainment. Queer-themed Interview with the Vampire is back for season 2. Here's everything we know. Gay and vampires are like peanut butter and jelly. So the queer community is very excited that Interview with the Vampire season 2 is on the horizon. The AMC series has queer representation of Louis and Lestat and is rumored to be premiering on Sunday, April 7th. The second season will have 8 episodes. Louis and Claudia will be seeking out new vampires, leading them to the Parisian Théâtre des Vampires. Oh, my French is great. Claudia will now be played by Delaney Hales, replacing Bailey Bass. Another new cast member is Ben Daniels. Fans are eagerly awaiting the show, so here's a look at the full-length trailer.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
Paris was an awakening for Louis. The whole world was ready to return, to remake their lives. Paris was a hunger.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the Théâtre des Vampires.
everything you're about to see is real.
Louis and Claudia, welcome to our coven.
Who's that handsome man on the wall?
Our co-founder, Lestat de Lioncourt.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up gay culture. These gay male celebrities are using dating apps. Who and which ones? When it comes to dating, sometimes it feels like you're suddenly swimming in an endless ocean of red flags, rejection, and misconnections. It's hard not to imagine landing dates, and somewhere we think that finding love must be significantly easier for celebrities. For that reason, you would be happy to know that the rich and famous search for companionship, like the rest of us, on the apps. Here are gay male celebs who admitted to being on dating app: Adam Lambert, Adam Rippon, Andy Cohen, Colton Underwood, Gus Kenworthy, Graham Norton, Sam Smith, and Lil Nas X, among others. The number 2 gay app was Tinder, and it's no surprise by far the top gay dating app of the stars was Grindr. Imagine getting matched with them on the app.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up religion. Christian lawmaker wants Americans to live by 18th century values and ban pride flags. Republican state Gino Bolso recently introduced House Bill 1605 to ban the display of pride flags on state property through the Tennessee legislature. He also claimed that parents want their children raised with the values that were in existence when the country was founded. Bolso told WKRN in Nashville that half a century ago, there was a consensus on what marriage is. 100 years ago, we had a consensus on sexual morality, and we do not have it anymore. And the pride flag, in Bolso's estimation, is at odds with that moral code. Bolso believes the Bible is the foundation of civic life and government. That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm John Hayden, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Paul Thomas, Gregg Shapiro, and Mr. President, Jeff Oliverio. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a very good night.